up, what up, what up? The chicken. Love. Eating this chicken. Thinking of ways. Change. What? Strings over there. Strings dynamic. Still free. Y'all here with me? What up? Y'all rocking? Come in here. I'm still charging in. everybody, listen up. The real man gotta step up. Because the simps and the suckers been glorified for too long. It's not enough of us. The millions have now walked away. That's not good enough. You still gotta stay at a playing field, a bird's eye view. You gotta play for keeps, and you gotta understand who you need to be in this society so that we can fix all of this killing, all of this trauma, and all of this dying, because there's no need for it. The only way to do that is stop sleeping. Hold your nut. Stop being active out here, because you don't want to catch Magic Johnson anyway, and you don't want to have no babies and end up in child support court. The only way we're going to fix this, we have to vet and court the perfect mothers in order for them to become the mothers of civilization, because this is just getting too distasteful. And a lot of you dudes don't want to hear it, you don't want to wake up, but more men are starting to step up and say we're walking away, and we stepping up our game so that we could be back in control and in power, because ain't no sex worth my dignity and my protection and my value that I bring. And this is the problem. Women don't understand. Man is not just a dollar sign, and that we actually have feelings too, and we have emotions, but we don't always show them or act on them the way that they do. You know what I'm saying? We're not as emotional. We don't have periods. We don't have cramps, and Mother Nature is not making us bleed, and you know, those things. So we understand how to be logical. So you gotta follow somebody. You gotta follow through. The way it's been ain't working. So it's time for the men to restore order and say, hey, we're no longer gonna play the dating. We're no longer gonna play the pain, the tricking, the simping, the attention. Like, this is why they killed Kevin. Like, a lot of dudes got it early. And I ain't talking no red pill. I'm not talking no purple, because everybody's different, right? Everybody got their different testosterone and DNA in ways that they got to deal with. So, of course, when you got to do what you got to do what you got to do when the time comes. You know, nobody's saying turn down, you know, your relief system because you don't want to exhaust yourself, right? But we saying we got to be more strategic with who you are now partnering up with or situationshipping, because now your life is on the line. You know, this whole cheating game, this whole divide and conquer and trying to demonize men but not the women that's selling sex and cheating as well. And you know, we know that they're having a plethora and they have way more options than what the average, you know, guy does. Is just now with science and the results, you know, we're starting to study and we're starting to see the holes for what they are, and the real women will come to the forefront when it's time, because they understand the necessary push or the necessary, you know, evil in order to get footed and get control of what we're putting out here and the narrative of the community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't just in the black community. I mean, that's where it's the strongest, and that's where they use us as lab rats to do the tests and see how, you know, will a woman in the household react when they don't let the man in and all that. So we know we was the first, you know, batch of the independent, the single mothers and whatnot and all of that. So I say that to say now, you know, we're going into that next phase. You know, we're seeing, like, remember we seen what crack did to the community, and, you know, after all them years, what it's still doing today, but it's like the side effects we're starting to see is, it's going to be more killing, there's going to be more anger, there's going to be more, you know, bleeding of America because it's a civil war, and they're trying to divide using religion, genders, ethnicity, and more, age. They got to try to group you in and try to have a way to manipulate and understand how they're going to dictate your moves in your mind and what you do. So this is why you got to stay on your A game and be able to switch up on the drop of a dime so that you can prevent yourself from, hurting anymore and taking any more risks that you already put on to the table. So a lot of dudes are taking it off, but it's not just about not dating and, you don't want to hate or turn yourself into somebody who's going to be hating women or something like that. Like, nah, you still got a duty and an obligation to society, but just not as gullible or naive, to the situation, so you could be in the forefront. That's what we're saying, like, choose the best option possible, not just what look best to you, but what you think is best for society and for your kids, because you're going to end up in a bind, just like what we're seeing going on with 50 Cent. His baby mom is now got this tape out, allegedly, and looking like, a trick, because she doing all of this stuff with these escorts and these men, and now your son, let's hope he don't do nothing harmful or be hurt, because this is stunning. I mean, imagine your dad being 50 Cent, that's one thing, but then now your mom being one of the top objects of the century of 2026. That woman didn't have no morals, she didn't have no integrity. It's all about the money now. So we saying let it be. Go get the best option, go get the best rich person, go get all of this, because last time we checked, it's more women than men. So men have more variety, technically, or more chances, if that was the case. But that's not. We see that that's not even how it works. It's a whole nother. It's like, just because it's more options doesn't mean you get more success. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it's working in today's world. Maybe before, things got to where it's at now when it comes to this scale and rating and dating and, this world, this new world order. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just like based off opportunity and convenience. So I just wanted to say my part with that, come bring that to y'all and see how y'all felt and how we can start. Because it's up to us now. We're gonna have to adapt and be able to transform in ways that we can be able to get over the social norm of being rich by a certain age or having all of this wealth. We starting to see it's a fool's game, and they've been getting help all along while we've been out here struggling by ourselves. So, you know what it is, you know where to find me, man. Smash that like button, because you ain't gonna find it here like no one else. You heard?